So, I'm working two puppies this morning. And one thing to get comfortable, you kind of say, "Oh, roommates." I don't want them to develop problems with always being on top of one another. So when I'm working one and the other one's just in the crate, you get a lot of complaining, a lot of protesting, and it's anxiety. So if I set it up where I've got Nova right now, so I'm working Nova and Scrappy. I've got Nova in a big open kennel, or a run, whatever you want to call it. So I can reward her for good, calm behavior while I'm working her brother. Good. Then I'm able to start getting them comfortable not always being right on top of one another. Yes. Because if you have littermates, especially littermates, brother and sister, I think it's littermate syndrome or something like that, is when they're together constantly, in aggression towards one another, a lot of problems can develop. A lot of problems can develop from that, so it's important that they're comfortable being by themselves. Because let's face it, it is much easier to just keep them together. Because when they're together, there's no protesting, they've got company, it's just much easier to deal with. But as they get older, again, I'm creating a lot of problems by doing that. So I want to start early and getting them comfortable, again, not always being with one another. So I'll start with having, like I said, having one of them in a big run so I can reward for good behavior, for calm behavior. And then I'll move to a regular crate, which I do some of that already as well. Yes. But I want to get to where I can just take one dog out and the other one's fine with it. While I'm doing this video too, guys, I wanted to go over 4 reasons why your dog will disobey a command. And just about anything that you can think of will fall into that category, or into one of those categories. So, you give your dog a command, they don't follow it. You need to ask yourself, are they afraid? Are they ignorant to what you're asking? Are they choosing not to do it? Or are they distracted by something? So, simply, fear, ignorance, choice, distraction. Those are the 4 reasons why my dog will disobey a command. When you're working with 3.5, 4-month-old puppies, most of the time, it's going to be ignorance. The dog just doesn't know. So that's the easiest one to fix, right? When the dog's not executing the command out of ignorance, then that's on me. I need to step back and I need to teach the dog. Simple. Period. Teach the dog. So if I tell him, for instance, back up. Yes. Back up. Back up. So he's just going to look at me. He has no idea what back up means. So that's a really easy one to figure out. Is he afraid to back up? No, there's no fear here. Is he, again, if I go down the list that way, fear, ignorance, choice, distraction, fear, no, ignorance, yeah. I know he's not choosing not to do it because I haven't taught him. He's not distracted, he's completely focused on me, So it can only be ignorance. So again, since he doesn't know, yes, I need to teach. Back up, back up, yes. Good. Back up. Back up. Yes. Good. And back up, I'll usually take 1 or 2 steps, mark a reward, and I can build on that. But I want to start getting them comfortable with that backwards motion. Good. And then, like I said, now I'm going to come over here, because she's been good. When she's jumping up on the crate, I'm going to toss the food onto the place bed behind me, because I don't want to reward her for having them front feet up or something. Back up. Yes. Back up. Yes. Okay, so that's super easy. That's how I'm going to deal with my, with the ignorance part. Dog needs to learn. I haven't taught the dog yet. And do the same thing with down, Kusei. Okay. Oh. You're a tank, buddy. Down. Down. Yes. Good. So, in commands like that, guys, I don't care if it takes the dog months to learn. I'm just going to label it. I'm going to have fun with it. And I'm going to shape all these behaviors. Down. Who's it? Down. Good down. Good down. Oh, that was a crawl. Down. Yes. Good. So just introducing the commands and behaviors. Fear. If the dog's afraid to do something and I just muscle them through it, whether I'm using pressure on the leash or I'm using e-collar to force the dog to do it, that's not going to get me anywhere. Actually, it's going to get me resentment what's going to happen, and the dog's going to want to do it even less. So if the dog's not doing something out of fear, what I want to do is I want to console the dog, I want to encourage the dog, and we're going to work through it. So I got a little protesting, you stop, then my reward's going to happen. Behind you, bro. Choice and distraction. Actually, what I'm going to do here real quick is we're going to switch out. And same thing. No go. Back up. Back up. So good. Yes. Good. Back up. Yes. Good girl. That's a girl. Back up. Yes. Gonna reward Scrappy for being good. Good boy. Yes. And I'm doing a lot of marking for engagement. Yes. So my mark word is yes. Or I'll use go sometimes too because I do training there. Yes. Good. And that just tells the dog that that thing you're doing at that moment is what I want from you. And that's, right now, is looking at me, engaging with me. Yes. And she's not looking to my hands, she's not looking at my pouch, she's looking at my face. And the reason she's looking at my face is because every time I reward, I bring the reward to my chin first. Or in her mind, my mouth. So all food is coming from my mouth. As the leader in this group, it's important for her to understand I control the food, the person that controls the food is the person that controls the pack. Much like the households, you know, if you just throw money at your kids, let them have whatever they want, you're not going to have very good control over your household. But if, you know, the things that your children want, you know, you teach them they need to work for it, be respectful, be polite, do their chores, that kind of stuff. You're in control, you're the one paying the bills, you're the one buying the food. So to dogs, this is money. So I don't do a whole lot of comparisons with children and dogs, but there are some things that you can equate. Just it makes it easier to understand. Good girl, yes. And I'm also very happy with Coda and Soka. Coda's over here, Soka's over here. Both of them are very, very quiet today. They're mature. Everybody's mature. Please. Special. Yes. Good. We'll grab a little bit more food and go over the last couple. And this is how I feed my dogs their meals. So there's no free rides. You don't just get your food. I'm just not going to just throw in a bowl. And, you know, occasionally I will, you know, do some feedings in a bowl, but 90% of the time I have to work my dogs. I have to feed my dogs. Why not do them together? The dog will respect. Will respect the food and you that much more. So the last two things are choice and distraction. So my dog chooses not to do that thing that I ask them to do. So I know they're not afraid. I'm 100% sure that they know it. Again, when you're talking about a 3-4-month-old puppy, there's no way of guaranteeing that they know anything. They're puppies. So the choice and distraction is, you know, there's certain things I can still apply this to, like, let's go, you know, I want the dog to come with me. The dog doesn't come, I can just grab the leash, put a little leash pressure on him. But choice, typically if you're referring to a dog that is competent and knows the command, I just don't want to do it right now. So when I'm dealing with that, I'm going to use assistance. I'm going to help the dog. Yes. And I'm not using any correction for the protesting or the whining. Again, what I am doing is I'm rewarding when he's not doing it. This would be an example, well, just for argument's sake, she knows down. Down. And she's not doing it, so I figure out a way to assist her. Down. Who say? Yes. Good girl. So, choice, I'm going to assist the dog. Same thing with distraction. If the dog is overly distracted by something, and so that's the reason they're not doing it, I'm going to assist them. Nice and quiet. Let's look at it again. And once again, fear, ignorance, choice, distraction. Fear I console, ignorance I teach, choice and distraction I assist. Very easy. Why it's important to remember those is because in your day-to-day with your dog, as you're giving commands and you're moving around doing your thing, each time you tell your dog to do something, if you don't follow through with it, the dog will start to pick and choose what commands are going to follow. So get those ingrained in your head: fear, ignorance, choice, distraction. Fear-consiole, ignorance, teach, choice, distraction, assist. So anything you tell your dog throughout the day, they don't do it, you go through those in your head, you figure out which one it is, and you know how to deal with each one. You will have your dog trained very quick, and you will have them doing the things that you want because they want to, not out of fear of consequence. If my dog is strictly working out of fear of consequence, and I'm using compulsion training and a lot of correction and things like that, especially early on, I'm going to have a very unstable dog. They're puppies only for so long. So any of you guys that work with me, you know, tell you all the time, don't be puppies. Outside of aggression, there's nothing these two dogs can do wrong. It's not even that aggression is wrong, it's just not tolerated. So, have fun, lonely pups, and I'll post up some more later. God bless, guys.